Hey, welcome to ConferenceTap. In this video, we're going to go in depth into all the features that are available to attendees and also to you as an organizer. So first, here we are on the event registration page. So we're pulling in information about the event, like the header image and the colors, speakers, the schedule, which is sorted by day, grouped by day. You can also sort by track if you want, or format, virtual or hybrid, and search based on the event title. And then we can go ahead and register for the event. Now, if you have used a different registration platform, such as Eventbrite or some other platform, and you don't need a registration page, that's totally fine. You cannot use this as a part of ConferenceTap and upload a CSV of all your attendees, and we can manually add them to your event. But if you do need a registration page, this is how attendees will register. Also, you could use both ConferenceTap's registration page and upload manually, so you can do both if you want. So here we can go ahead and select how many tickets that we want. So you can do multiple, which means you can register your whole team for an event, or even purchase multiple tickets at once if you like. But here, let's just go ahead and get one virtual ticket. And I'm just going to go ahead and say this ticket is for me, and I'm going to go ahead and register. And then here, it's going to send me to a cool little success page, which is going to say I'm in. It's going to have this ticket, which I can share on social media as well, which is kind of free promotion for your event. And I can also go ahead and continue to my account. Now, one thing I wanted to show you before we continue is the registration page on mobile. So here on the right side, we can see that everything in ConferenceTap works really well on both desktop, and it also works really well on any mobile phone. So here you can see how everything collapses down. You can skip ahead to any of the sections, and you can register in the same way from mobile. Okay, so here we are now in the event itself, and this is the home lobby here where we have all of the main information about our event. We can see the speaking events that I am registered to speak at, which is really helpful to make sure speakers don't miss their event. You can also see the events that are happening right now, which is really great to make sure that attendees can easily jump into the events that they want to attend. Here we have information just about the event. This floor plan button will show up if it's a hybrid or in-person event. It'll be hidden for virtual only events. We can see upcoming sessions and browse all sessions, as well as the sponsors. On the right side, we can see we have a main chat, which is a live stream of everyone talking at the event, which is really cool. And then as an organizer, I can pin messages. Here you can see I pinned this message here at the top. And then I can also delete messages as well. So you can moderate and delete if needed. Here under polls, we can go ahead and create new polls because we're an organizer. And I'm just going to say, where are you from? And I'll say North America, South America, Europe, and other. And I'll just go ahead and create the poll. And then because it's a new poll, it'll show up for everyone that hasn't voted on it yet as new, which is pretty cool. And then I can go ahead and say I'm from North America, and then the votes will get tallied in real time. I'll also show you really quickly how the event page here on desktop works really well on a mobile device, just like the registration page. And this is really great for in-person events or hybrid events where people are in person, and they can use the app from their phone and really easily browse sessions and see what's happening now and add sessions to their calendar and view their own schedule. So they can do everything that you can do from desktop from their phone really, really easily. So the next feature while we're here is sessions. So I'll go ahead back to desktop just because it's a little easier for you to see. But it all works just as well from your phone. And this is where you can see all of the sessions. You can filter by track and format. and then you can go to your own schedule and create your own personal schedule, and you can remove them just by clicking that heart, and you can add them as well by clicking the heart to your schedule. And this is just a really easy hub to see what's going on at the event, and it's also grouped by day, so you can see this is October 13th and this is October 14th. All right, next let's go into networking, and this is where you can see all of the people at the event. You can start chats, so you can chat with other attendees, and if you do that, you can view all of your chats here, which is pretty cool, and it's always available, and then your notifications will show up here as well. You can also see links if the attendees have entered links about themselves, such as a personal website, Twitter, and LinkedIn, which is really helpful. And then here at the top, we have our one-on-one speed networking feature, which is a really cool and fun networking feature, which is kind of like chat roulette, if you've ever heard of that before. It allows attendees to go in, they're randomly matched with someone else at the event for a 5-minute chat. And then if both attendees connect with each other, their contact information will be shared after the event so they can connect post-event. And it's just a really great way to encourage networking at a virtual event. You can turn this feature off as well if you decide you don't want to have this feature, but it's a really fun feature if you decide to include it. Next is the lounge, and this you also can turn off if you don't want this feature, but this is another networking feature where any user can create a virtual lounge where users can go in and talk with each other and connect. So it's a really great way to encourage more networking. Next is booths. So this is like a virtual expo booth for a virtual event. You also can have a list of expo booths if it's an in-person event as well. But for virtual events, users will be able to click in and go into the booth, and you'll be able to have an embedded video here, which could be YouTube or Vimeo. You could also have live video as well if you want a representative from the company to be there. And then you can have an offer here, which is customized, which users can register interest, which will then send that lead to the expo organizer, whoever is running this expo. And then it's a great way for sponsors to collect leads from your conference, and you can provide more value to those sponsors. And you can even charge additional money to give sponsors a virtual expo booth. So it's a really great way to add more value to your event. Next, let's go into our schedule here. And let's go ahead and go into a room. So I'm going to go ahead and click into a room. And here, this is a virtual room. Now, if this were an in-person conference, you would not have this video control. You would only see the room number because it would be in person. But for hybrid and virtual events, we have the virtual conference area set up here. All right, so I'm going to quickly explain how this all works on ConferenceTap. So the main way to have virtual events on ConferenceTap is to run them through ConferenceTap's live video features. You can do it through ConferenceTap. We can support up to 15,000 viewers in one session. If you want to use either an embedded video from YouTube or Vimeo, which could be either a live video from YouTube or Vimeo or a pre-recorded video, you can do that as well. You can also include a Zoom link if you want to use Zoom. So whatever you want to do to set up your room, more flexible. But here I'm going to show you the ConferenceTap virtual room. So if we go ahead and click Start Broadcast Room, here it's going to pop up. It's going to have a little pre-join area where we can test that our microphone is working. We can see our video. We can even add background effects, which I've done here. And then we can go ahead and join the broadcast. And here we join the broadcast. And we can see the recording is going to start automatically, which is really helpful. And then in your admin dashboard afterwards, you can download all of the recordings. Here we can also go down and create a breakout room. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So if we create the breakout room, we can go ahead and let's say we want to create 4 breakout rooms that are 3 minutes each with 4 people per breakout room. So I'm going to go ahead and create the breakout room, which is going to pop up here on top of the screen. And it's going to load the rooms. And then here at the bottom, this is only available to admins or speakers. Because I'm an admin, I have this ability to either end the breakout room or join any room and kind of hop between them. Everyone else will only see this top section. So let's go ahead and join a room. So it's going to take us away from the main session. And then we can go ahead and join a breakout room. And then here on the bottom, we can see the time remaining is ticking down. And because that was only 3 minutes, it's already at 2.5 minutes here. And then here, if I click end breakout room early, it's just going to say breakout room over, return to session. So everyone will then click that button, go back to the session. I can join the room as speaker. And if I weren't a speaker, there would just be a join room button. And then you would go ahead and join the broadcast again. So then when the broadcast is over, all you have to do is click end live video for all. That will end the session, and that will also kick off a workflow to process your recording. And then in 5 minutes, that recording will show up in the admin section of the app. Here you can also see how many people have joined the live video. And then here on the right side, you can see we have a main chat area, which is pulling in the chat, the live chat from the main event lobby. And then here we have our session chat. So if I say hello, this is only going to be showing up in this session, which is really helpful to kind of have a side conversation here for the session. Because I'm an organizer, I have the ability to pin and delete as well, just like I do on the main chat. If I go to polls, you can create polls that are specific to this session as well. Q&A, you can do the same thing. So if I say ask a question here that says, what inspired you to start your business? And I can ask anonymously if I want and ask the question. I can delete it because I asked it, and also I'm a moderator. And if I go up, I can vote, and if you can only upvote once. And this is a great way to kind of have a Q&A session, have the best questions voted up, and then the speaker can answer those questions, and everyone can follow along in the Q&A tab. And then the people tab will show the people that are in the event, and it also allows the speaker to call people up to the room, invite them up to the room to speak in a broadcast room, which is really helpful to kind of have a live Q&A session. Now I'm going to show you the organizer part of ConferenceTap. So this is the page where you edit all of the information about your event, customize it, add the sessions, the speakers, the tickets, everything to do with your event. So I'm going to walk through all of the features and give you a full demo of everything that's available here. So here on our home tab, we have the details section where we can edit basic information about the event, the description. We can go into our design tab and update the design, the logo, the header image, and the color, which is really cool. So if we go ahead, let's say we change the color to green, and let's say we update that, and then let's go ahead and preview the event. This is the same event we were just looking at. It's going to load up, and now everything here is in green and customized to your brand's color. This is a really great feature to make your event feel like your own. So if we go back, you can make an announcement. So let's say we just wanted to say, we're running a few minutes late. Sorry. And if we want to make that announcement, and we go back to our event, that's going to pop up for all the users, and you can see your brand color is included there. And users can just say mark as seen, which is going to hide the announcement. Under features, this is where you can turn on and off those customized features about your event. So here, if we turn off the lounge as an example, the lounge tab will get removed from your event. If we turn it back on, the lounge tab will get turned back on and it'll be available again. Here, the registration form. this is where we can ask additional questions about our attendees when they register for your event. So this is really helpful if you want to ask more information like job title, birthday, anything you wanted to ask, you could add them here in their registration form section. Here under sessions is where you manage all of your sessions. You can delete, you can duplicate them, which is really helpful. You can add different tracks, which are basically different ways to organize all of your sessions into different categories, which can be very helpful. And if you click into the tracks, you can see all of the sessions of a certain track, which is helpful. We can clear that. You can add tracks here. And then let's go ahead and walk through adding a session real quick, because this will kind of explain all of the different features that you can choose from when creating a session. So let's say we were creating a session. It was the future of data analytics and data science. And let's say we wanted to have the track be about artificial intelligence. The session type, so here we can choose whether it's a broadcast, which is a speaker presenting to an audience, kind of like an expo, where only the speakers and organizers can actually speak on the live video. Everyone else is just viewing. Community is where everyone can speak. That's really helpful for like roundtable sessions. A break, just setting aside a time in the schedule for a break. And networking, this is setting aside time in the schedule for one-on-one virtual networking, which is kind of like speed networking, 5-minute chats that are randomly matched. So if we go ahead and choose a broadcast room, we can next choose whether it's a virtual, in-person, or hybrid. So if it's virtual, we're going to get to choose the video type. If it's in-person, we're going to choose the in-person room. And if it's hybrid, we're going to choose both. So let's just do hybrid and say it's going to be in room 502. The video type, we have live video, which is the ConferenceTap video technology. We have YouTube. This is if you want to embed a YouTube video. If Vimeo is if you want to embed a Vimeo video. And Zoom is if you want to add a Zoom link. So just to show you, Zoom will have an area for the Zoom link. Vimeo will have an area, enter the Vimeo ID. Same with YouTube for the ID there. And for live video, you don't have to enter any of that information. And then we have a description here where we can add more information about the event if you want. And then the start and end time. So let's go ahead and create the session. And now you can see we have the future of data analytics and data science here with information about the event that we created. Next, what we want to do is add a speaker to that event, which is going to allow a user who's registered for ConferenceTap and for your event to actually join as a speaker and run the room the way that I showed you previously earlier in this video. So if we go ahead and click Create New Speaker, we can create a new speaker right away. If we've already created the speaker over here, so let's say, it's Jeff Bezos, for example, all we would need to do is go to that session. Let's say Jeff Bezos, we can click Add Speaker, and now Jeff Bezos is added to that event. We can add multiple speakers if we want, and then if we want to remove a speaker, we just check it off and remove. Now we've added the speaker. What we need to do then is if we go to speakers, what we want to do is connect this speaker to an attendee who's registered for your event already. So what you would do is go ahead and just, I'm going to just go ahead and connect it to a test speaker that I have. Ideally, in reality, you would be connecting it to a user named Jeff Bezos. So you would search for that. But this is just a test account. So I'm going to go ahead and connect it. So now you can see there's a connected user who's connected to this speaker, which is going to allow this user to actually be a speaker in the ConferenceTap event. So hopefully that makes sense. We have sessions, we have speakers, and then we have users who are connected to those speakers. If that's a little confusing, don't worry. That's probably the most kind of tricky part about getting an event set up. but it's really not too hard. And once you get it, it's pretty easy. And that's kind of how we set up our sessions, and then we add speakers and users to the session. So if we go down, we can go to our People tab. This is where we can monitor the registrations for our event. We can also manually invite people to our event. So if we go to our invite section here, we can add attendees. Here we can go ahead and select the ticket that you're going to add the attendee to. So let's go ahead and select the virtual admission ticket. Here, if you want to upload a CSV of users, for example, from Eventbrite or another event registration platform that you already have been using, you would just download that CSV template, add in the first name, last name, and email of those users, and then click this box to upload the group of users. In our case, what I'm going to do is add an individual user. So let's say I'm adding a user here. It's going to be Steve Jobs, and I'll just add in an email here. So it'll be steve@jobs.com. And I'll go ahead and add an individual user. And then all I would have to do is click on Steve Jobs here, and then you click Invite Selected. When you click Invite Selected, it's going to process the invitation, and then it's going to go into the Invited section. So here under Invited, you can see Steve Jobs, and once they accept the invitation that was sent to their email, it will it will put them in the registered section of your People tab here. Another thing you can do, which is really useful, is if it's been a day or two and they haven't accepted the invitation yet, you can go ahead, you can select everyone here and re-invite everyone here who has been invited. So this is a really easy way to manage the people that are attending your event. All right, next is sponsors. So sponsors, this is pretty easy. It just allows you to add sponsors. You can edit the information about them and change the level of gold, silver, or bronze, and you can charge different amounts to sponsors. And this is a great way to earn more revenue from your event. Expos. So as it says here, expos are virtual booths for sponsors to share video content, live or recorded, offers, and also collect leads. So here, I'll just show you real quick when you are creating an expo. It's very similar to everything we just talked about when creating a session. The main differences are that we have an exhibitor email as well as name and headline and description. So like the name of the exhibitor could be Apple, for example. And then the email would be whoever's running the expo booth. And the reason we're asking for an email is here. If the button action is register interest, the offer could be, $50 off your first, iPhone, just as an example. What's going to happen is when attendees click that button to register interest, the attendee's information is going to be emailed to this exhibitor email, who then can then take that information and send out the deal to everyone who registered interest. So it's a great way for sponsors to get more attention and collect leads at your event. It can be virtual or it can be in person as well. If it's in person, we would just add the in-person room here. It shows up for hybrid as well. So really great way to kind of drive additional value for your event. Next is tickets. So tickets is where you'll actually earn money by selling tickets through ConferenceTap. You can also set up free tickets through ConferenceTap. Now, every event needs to have at least one free ticket. Here you can choose whether it's a free or paid ticket. You can set a registration limit if you only want a certain number of tickets to be registered by attendees. And then here we can also register our account with Stripe. The way that you get paid for your event is you'll create an account through Stripe, and then you'll get all of the money will be sent to you through that Stripe account. So once you set up your Stripe account, you'll then have the ability to create paid events. paid tickets. Before that, you will only be able to create free tickets. Also through Stripe, you'll be able to set up things like coupons or promotion codes, which are also really helpful for paid events. So there's a lot of features there that you can take advantage of through Stripe. All right, so next is analytics. And this is a great way to both see all of the data about your event at a glance here at the top, and then download an export of that data if you need to do more with that data on your own. So I'll quickly go through everything that's available to you. So here we have session data. So you can see, how many sessions there are, how many people have joined those sessions, how many live chats have been at those sessions. So you can download data about each session if you want. Under sales, here we can see at a glance revenue, things like that. This is a demo, so it says 0, even though there's $522 of revenue, but in reality, that would match up to the revenue that you've earned. And then you can download all of the individual ticket sales if you want as well, so that's really helpful. Under people, here, this is just where you can download data about all of the attendees as well as their engagement. So how many sessions they've joined, how many live chats they've sent. So it kind of gives you an idea of how engaged each user has been at the event. Networking, this is another great way to measure engagement at your event. So you can see how many one-on-one video matches there have been, connections, direct messages, live chats. And then here you can download all of the live chat data, both from the main conference chat as well as from each session. Direct messages are private, but all the live chats are available for download. And then registration form. This is where you can go to your details, and when I talked about earlier, creating these additional questions. That analytics tab is where you download that data. So next, let's go into marketing. Marketing is where you can send out emails to your attendee registrants. So here we can send out a personalized email with the first name. So as an example, you would just say, hi, first name. I'd copy that in. And that would automatically put the first name of the registrant in that email. And you can see all the emails that you've sent. So this is really helpful. And then you can also have a welcome email and customize that welcome email that the user gets when they register from your event. Okay, so just a few more things. So here in person, if you are doing a virtual only event, you can leave this blank. But if you're doing a hybrid or in-person event, you can add the floor plan, add the image of that floor plan. You can have multiple floor plans as well if your event has multiple rooms. So this is a really easy way to add that information. Share links. This has the conference links and the registration page link, which is the same as these links here on the left side. But we also have a QR code here, which is a link to the conference or the event, which allows you to print out and put on, a flyer or a poster if you want at your event, if you want to make it easy for people to get to the event on their phone. And last, we have recordings. So this is going to show the recording when it's available, and you can download it and then take that recording and put it on your website, put it on YouTube, or whatever you would like to do with that recording. I hope this was a helpful overview of ConferenceTap and everything that you can do with it, both as an organizer and also as an attendee. If you have any questions at all about ConferenceTap, please just let me know. I'd be happy to help. If you want to set up a live call to go into any of these features in more detail, I'm happy to do that and answer any questions that you have. So thank you so much, and I hope to hear from you soon.